being present with people, being kind, being respectful.
Being brave and being able to engage in a relational practice with our patients.
Foundationally, just like meeting people where they're at and honoring and respecting and caring for that person.
Being compassionate to ourselves.
Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care.
I was working with a young woman on an inpatient unit, and she had been out on pass and hadn't come back, and ultimately did come back, supported by her mom and sisters. I went into her room and she was settling to bed, and I said, "I'm really sorry to hear about the past few days you've had. I know it's been tough for you. I'm not judging you. I'm not questioning why you used. I'm not questioning why we're here. I'm just sorry you're having a really, really shitty day."
You see them as a person and you continue to treat them as a person and support them as a person, and they can come out the other side of that behavior and not, you're not mad at them and they're not in trouble.
And just providing the reassurance that it's okay for you to call and it's not a bother and we're here 24 hours a day.
We had a newer resident come in and we were talking about motivation and our values, and it was, pretty personal stuff. She was almost ready to leave the group, but then another resident who'd been there a little bit longer said, "You know what? When I first came in, I was really nervous sharing in front of a group as well." And so then myself, thinking, "Oh, that was compassion. I want to join."
A moment in particular was on check day, like social assistance check day is a high-risk time for a lot of people. And this girl, she was gone for a few days and came back, and the first thing I said to her when she came back was, "We're so glad that you're back. We're glad that you're safe." And that made a difference.
Through nursing school, you see people who are very competitive academically and want to be competitive professionally, and so they see that in terms of like skills and grades and titles and those things that you put on a resume.
There's a lot of stigma and marginalization around mental health in particular. So I think sometimes this manifests itself in the nursing caregiving setting.
I think that a lot of the focus of mental health nursing now has been towards a risk-aversive society and creating environments that minimize risk to maximize safety, and I think in a lot of ways that can take us away.
And so when you have systems in place that are driven by values such as costs and efficiencies and products and turning out results, that's going to influence how you practice.
The more that we focus on the task stuff, it actually, in my experience, leaves me feeling more burnt out.
It's important for us to be compassionate with each other too, and to think about why we chose to do this to begin with. And to think about when we're having those bad days and we feel like we can't keep going, and we feel like we don't have anything left to give. Kind of thinking about why we became nurses to begin with. And probably it had something to do with being a human being and wanting to be a human being with someone else. Some people might not know the best way or might not have all the knowledge or have all the reflective practice and have all the resources, but we are all trying to do the best that we can. And to also be kind with ourselves and understand that not every day is a good day. And we're all gonna get to that point where we feel like there's not more for us to give, but also understand that there's always more to give if we approach things from a place of compassion.
If this work of coming from a place of compassion is something that draws your attention, if it's something that draws your curiosity to lean into that.
Turn your judgment into curiosity. Being compassionate can be a revolutionary act.
My name is Claire.
Michael Scott.
My name is Cheryl.
My name is Michelle.
I'm Jess. I've been a nurse for 1.5 years.
For 7 years.
For 11 years.
For 20 years.
For 8 years.
And compassion is an essential part.
Is an essential part
Is an essential part
of my mental health nursing practice.